Hi guys! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're catching us. Thank you for being here to join us as we talk to a very good friend of mine. She's been a big inspiration to me. Actually, I haven't met her, hindi pa kami magkakilala ng matagal, pero she has been a big inspiration to me because she's so authentic, she's so generous in sharing her story. And today I'd like to get to know her better together with everyone here. So friends, please help me welcome Miss Ishie Perez. Si Ishie, she is,
Hi.
before I forget, so I'm Aline and my guest for today is Miss Ishie Perez. She is the blogger behind www.whoishe.com and she's also the founder of the community for polycystic ovary syndrome, ladies who are experiencing PCOS. It's called the Polycisters Club and right now she has a challenge for everyone who have this kind of symptom. But before we get into that, so let's get to know Ishi better. So the way we start, Ishi, yung mga casual conversation is that we ask for three statements from the people that we talk to. So you can tell us three statements, yung isa doon lie, and then we will guess. So go ahead and share with us three statements.
Okay, so nagsulat talaga ako ng statement. So I wrote statements, right? So
Okay,
number
go.
one, I can do cheerleading stuff like tumbling, handstands, breakdancing, ganyan. And then the second one, I love travel and adventure. I did skydiving, spelunking, canyoneering. Okay, and then the third one is I am a very spiritual person. So I have sage, I have crystal bowls, I have crystals, ganyan, and I do meditation and stuff. So, yun, those are the three statements.
Okay, so I'll guess now which one is
The lie.
the lie. Parang puro truth. Parang puro totoo siya. At least with what I know about you. Pero, sige, I'll go. Kasi nakikita naman kitang adventurous. Tapos nakikita kong flexible ka. Tapos nakikita ko rin na ano, alam ko na may meditation ka rin naman eh. So, let's go with number one. Try lang. Hindi ko
Yeah,
alam eh.
correct.
Number one.
I can't do yung mga tumblings, yan, handstands, no, not yet.
Oo.
But planning
Oo,
to.
pero kaya mo mag-split kasi.
Yeah, but not the tumbling. It's scary for me.
Yung pagtatumbling. Okay. Sige, tell us more about the second. So you like travel and adventure. What were the
Yeah.
memorable places that you've been to?
So memorable for me is Guam, where I skydived. So months before that, I was planning on doing the skydive na sa Guam. And then
Oo.
I didn't tell my parents because I know they will stop me.
Yeah.
Kasi it's
Oh my
too, yeah.
gosh.
Kasi it's too, I think it's too dangerous. But then I told myself na, no, I want to do it. So I booked 2 months before our trip. And then the day that I'm going to do the skydiving, kasi there are feet eh. And I chose the lowest.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was there, and then the lady told me, maybe you should go for the highest height. Eh.
Oh.
So kasi she told me na it's gonna be bitin. You're not gonna enjoy
Yeah.
too much. Yeah. So when you do the highest, so the free fall is gonna be longer. So you're gonna enjoy it more. So I said, okay, I will do the the highest. No, so yun, it was really a nice experience. It's kind of scary when you're going up na, but when you're there, bahala na. Because the
Pero
instructor
meron
will
ka namang
just,
kasama, no? When you...
yeah, meron.
Gusto ko siya, pero parang hindi ko alam kung kakayanin ko.
Kaya mo yun, I swear. It's not, I thought that yung pag tumalon ka, I thought na para siyang roller coaster, yung naiiwan yung,
Yeah. Oo.
it's not like that. It's not like that. It's different. Kasi
Talaga?
yun rin yung fear ko. Kasi parang naiiwan yung kaluluwa mo, di ba? Parang
Oo,
gano'n eh.
oo, yung
Yeah.
tiyan mo nasa taas, parang ganyan.
But no, with skydiving, it's different. So yun yung mga memorable adventures. And then canyoneering sa Cebu, that's also a
Oo.
good adventure. And then spelunking sa Sagada.
Spelunking is caving, no? Going inside
Yeah.
caves.
Yeah. So we
Grabe.
did the
Siguro nasa bucket
yung
list ko yan, yung mga nagawa mo na.
yeah. Alam mo, masaya yun, promise. You will enjoy.
Yung spelunking, yung husband ko nagawa na niya before we got married. Kasama niya yung mga tito-tita niya. So,
Mhm.
senior citizens yung mga kasama niya, pero na-enjoy pa rin nila. Yung
Masaya yun, I
spelunking.
swear. Yeah.
Ako
Kind of
nakapunta sa
scary.
squad.
But yeah,
Scary din.
maganda. Saan
Oh,
nag-spelunking si Jodex?
Sagada.
Sagada din, yeah. There's yung system doon, yung cave system, kasi parang merong smaller and then
Oo.
saglit lang. But then there's yung bigger cave system. And then
Oo.
yun yung parang, I think, half a day or siguro mga
Nakatayong ka na
4
niya.
hours.
Matagal eh.
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, that one.
Sarap naman. So, I feel like nakapag-travel and nakapag-adventure ka na talaga, no? And then the
Yeah.
third, alam mo, di tayo medyo nagkaano eh, medyo sobrang aligned sa parang discovery ng meditation. Pero hindi pa ako wala pa akong mga crystals, wala pa akong mga ganyan. Pero more on meditation. Paano ka nag-start sa meditation?
Before talaga, because of depression, I was really trying to find something na makakapag-ground sa akin.
Okay.
Because, sometimes it's really hard to focus, ganyan. So, I found meditation. And then, hindi siya naging tuloy-tuloy.
Yeah.
Though last year, parang sabi ko, I think, I'm gonna go on a spiritual journey. Siguro mag-focus ako sa spirituality. So maybe if I focus on the spirituality, kasi kasama na rin yung self-development. And I think that, yun na, makikita ko na yung flow. I will be more in flow, ganyan. So, that's how it started last year, mga November. So,
Oo.
after that, so yun na. Tapos March, nakilala ko na kayo and stuff. And I think it's because of that choice of really prioritizing yourself, your mental health.
Oo. Parang sobrang important nung prioritizing yourself. I
Yeah.
think ako din eh, parang yun yung me time ko. That's when I connect to myself. Pero recent ko lang din siya na-discover. Hindi rin ako, parang it came at a time in my life when I was really struggling. Kasi bago, parang I gave birth to my second. And then I have a business. Tapos parang everything's just so chaotic.
Yeah.
So, I felt like I needed something. And then sa Instagram actually, ang dami kasing nag-advocate sa mga pina-follow ko ng meditation until I found something, a class na free in Makati. So that's when I started doing meditation. So, ang galing. Okay, pero okay, let's start. Yung tama yung hula ko sa
Oo,
ano,
galing.
lie. So, alam mo yung natatandaan ko sa'yo is that you are so generous kasi kakikilala lang natin. Tapos, syempre, we're supporting each other, ganyan. Tapos, I entered into a contest that you created for Instagram.
Yeah.
Tapos, yung sa Who is she? Tama ba yung pronunciation? Who is she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is she? Instagram. Tapos, nanalo ako nung Malaya Intimate gift set. So, sobrang happy ako. Pati yung sobrang love na love ko yung mga sobrang love na love ko yung mga nandun. Sobrang thank you. Ang ganda-ganda ng start. So, yung yung getting started in the whoisshe.com website. Paano yun nag-start? Kailan mo na-start?
Actually, years before pa talaga, I wanted to write a blog. Tapos, parang 2 years ago, I already have the domain name, as in, meron na akong who is she, PH ata. And then, 1 year yung nag-run, binayaran ko na yung domain, and then wala akong ginawa. Tapos,
Okay.
parang nawala na siya sa utak ko. I was focusing on other things. And then last year, when I was starting yung spirituality, sabi ko, o sige, since I'm working naman and sometimes it's stressful or sometimes it's really hard for me to parang detach myself from the work. So maybe I should have like a hobby. Ganyan. So I started writing. Nung una sabi ko, okay, bibili ka na naman ng domain, baka naman hindi mo na naman gamitin. Sayang ang pera mo. And then, pero sabi ko, sige, sige, I'm gonna take the leap. I'm gonna write again. Kasi I really love writing, you know. I love sharing also realizations, ganyan. So, I started writing and then I wasn't diagnosed pa with PCOS during that time, during the first ano. So I was just writing about meditation. I was writing about books. I'm reading, travel, ganyan. And then, nung nagkaroon ako ng diagnosis ng PCOS, that's when I wrote about it. And then my doctor, the Doc Cherie of the Core Clinic, they saw the blog and then they started to share it. Tapos
Mm.
doon na siya nagkaroon ng followers talaga
Oo.
because of PCOS. So that was the
Oo.
topic I was writing about. Doon na talaga nag-boom. So sabi ko, okay. So it's really a need na someone, people with PCOS, women with PCOS, they really want someone na they can read about the experience, and then
Yeah.
that's when it started. So right
Oh,
now
alam
I'm
mo,
still writing about different stuff pa rin, but it's more PCOS focused.
oo. Ang dami actually, parang from my circle. Parang nag-catch up ako with a friend of mine from college, random, tapos napag-usapan namin yung yoga. She mentioned that she got into yin yoga because she has PCOS. Tapos, when I was consulting with my OB-GYN, meron din akong friend na nakasalubong. Nagko-consult din siya with my OB because yun din, meron din siyang PCOS. So, ang dami talaga. And I think, yeah, it's great that you're taking steps in helping people find support somehow, that they're not alone in their journey. Yan. Tapos, I think Mark is watching us from Kuwait. Mark, Facebook user
Hi.
ka na rin sa mo. Ano ka, register ka sa StreamYard. Thank you for watching us. So, Ishie, when you were diagnosed with PCOS, how did you feel? Ano yung ano mo? How did you feel? And then, what were your initial thoughts about it? And what prompted you to have yourself checked?
Kasi 2016 I was already breaking out, and then I went to the derma. Tapos she was giving me antibiotics. Tapos gumagaling naman. But then bumabalik lang siya ng bumabalik. So sabi niya, palakas ng palakas yung antibiotics ko. Parang hindi nag-e-effect. So
Oh.
pa-check ka, sabi niya sa akin, baka may PCOS ka. So, nagpa-check ako, ultrasound. Actually, ano pa nga yun very bad experience pa ako dun sa doktor na yun. And then, nagpa-ultrasound ako. Tapos wala daw akong PCOS. So, sabi ko,
Okay.
okay. So, bumalik ako sa derma. Wala akong PCOS. So, from 2016 hanggang 2021, kasi this year lang ako na-diagnose, as in clueless. Nag-gain ako ng weight kahit na 1,200 calories lang kinakain ko, kahit na workout ako ng workout. Twice a day, Aline, grabe.
Oh.
Nakakapagod. Yeah. Tapos,
Yung workout was recommendation for addressing PCOS?
no, it was me. It was my decision kasi I had to lose the weight. Tapos, nung time na yon, I was with a gym. Tapos, yung may personal trainer na lumapit sa akin, sabi niya sa akin, kain ka lang ng chicken tsaka ng broccoli, baka papayat ka niyan, sabi sa akin. Tapos tumakbo ka 1 hour a day, magbuhat ka after, sabi niya sa akin. Tapos, ginawa ko naman. Tapos wala siyang effect. Actually, mas bumigat pa ako. And then, last year, 2020, I reached 90 kilograms.
Okay. So, hindi pala si Mark. Si Sitchay pala.
Hi,
Si
Sitchay!
Wait, she is also a PCOS warrior. Ang galing.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, I
Okay.
actually, I want to congratulate pala si Chai because I saw na she's now a boxing instructor,
Oh,
if I'm
yeah!
right. Yeah.
Congratulations!
So
Congrats!
congrats. It's
Parang
really turning
nag-train na siya,
around the
a
yeah.
training, ano, a boxing trainer.
Yes.
Congrats! Okay, so ang naging main issue were acne and weight.
Routine. Yeah, initially. And then this year, I decided to have it checked na with a functional doctor because wala nga talagang nakakapag-diagnose anong meron sa akin.
Oo.
Tapos, kasi we were already having a problem with fertility kasi we're trying to conceive. Tapos, it's not happening for us. So sabi ko, sige, I have to go have it checked na.
Alam mo,
And then, dun na.
somehow, similar yung story natin. Kasi ako, we were also trying to conceive, but it took us more than 5 years. And parang very frustrating at first, di ba? Kasi parang, why is it not working? Parang ganyan. Parang yung iba, ang bilis lang. Tapos kami, effort na effort. Yung ganyan. Tapos, so nagpa-work up kami sa OB. Alam mo ba yung findings sa amin? Unexplained infertility. So, parang ako, how do you address something like this when they don't know what's wrong?
Yeah.
So, yun. So, that's when I started also to look for, kasi yun, fertility journey, it was also a bit hard. Pero ako naman, hindi naman PCOS. I was diagnosed naman with APAS, anti-phospholipid something something. Hindi ko na siya masyadong inintindi. So anyway, um, so nung nagkaroon ka ng PCOS, and now that you know that it's something that you need to address, for what motivated you to write about it? I mean, paano nag-progress from just writing, tapos na may nakikita yung mga shinare ng doctor mo about PCOS, and now how did it progress into, kasi I see you now creating a community for ladies who have the same symptoms as you. So how did that progression happen?
Kasi when I was diagnosed with PCOS, of course I was heartbroken. No, I felt na yung hindi namin pagkakaroon ng child, it was my fault kasi ako yung may PCOS, kasi ako yung ano, and it was a problem. So nung time na yon I was really heartbroken. So sabi ko, sige, I'm just gonna focus on healing muna. And then na-realize ko, parang alam mo yung story kasi, a lot of people are suffering from it. And a lot of Filipinas actually are feeling na it's something na they can't heal from. So sabi ko, okay, siguro, I also wanted the community. I also wanted a support system. So sabi ko, okay, maybe it's time ako na siguro yung gagawa ng support system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Oo.
yeah, from the heartbreak, sabi ko, okay, I'm just gonna make it into something na will be valuable for others. So as I'm going through it, I'm gonna share yung journey ko, yung frustrations, yung struggles, and stuff. Yun.
Oo. And you're so generous. Actually, you're so generous in sharing your story and very open about it. So, yun yung isa sa mga sobra kong ina-admire sa'yo because you're very generous in sharing your journey, even the challenges. So for now that you have a community and you are addressing your own symptoms, what did you found helpful? What did you find helpful sa pag-address?
Sa akin right now talaga habits. Like, kasi when I went to Dr. Shiri, of course, kasi magaling siyang doctor and she's giving me the supplements. However, syempre, you can't take something, take a pill, and then parang yun na yun, that's the solution, that's the magic pill. Okay, I'm just gonna drink this and then I'm gonna be pregnant soon. It's not that eh. I believe na it's a systems based approach, lalo na I have the diagnosis, I know what I have. So it's really a lifestyle change. Yun talaga siya. You're gonna change the systems. And I know you've read about vision as well. So
Yeah.
it's really yung systems of reality niya nga ba? Ay, no, no, no. Models of reality and then systems for living. So yung systems for living, it has to support the diagnosis. So
Yeah.
it really has to be a lifestyle change for me. But then I wanted it to be gradual kasi I don't want to be overwhelmed. So yung struggles ko from that, taking out dairy, taking out yung mga gluten. So it really has to be gradual. So it was a
Oo.
process also. And I found na yung belief na improving yourself even 1% every day, that's the
Correct!
best. Yeah, hindi siya yung parang, okay, tanggalin ko to lahat, pero magagawa mo lang siya for a day or for a week. Pero what
Oo.
if you focus on the little things na you can change right away na magiging sustainable in the future, and then it's gonna stack, and then
Oo, alam mo,
magugulat ka na lang.
correct. Yan nga yung parang na-discover ko last year. Kasi, di ba pandemic, parang I was more on into inner work last year. Kasi nagkaroon ng pause, ganyan. Tapos, things were not going according to what I wanted. So, I had to take a pause. And that's when I was more open to learning from other people. And that's what I discovered. Sabi nila, yung secret of success is in the day. It's in the now. And what you do with your day will compound into a week, into a month, into the years. So yun, tapos si Atomic Habits, narinig ko na rin yun sa'yo eh, si Atomic Habits,
Yeah.
tapos yun. So ang galing kasi I can see that you are creating sustainable habits for yourself and influencing others to do the same because they might not be aware that it is these little things, these little tweaks that can really somehow make an impact dun sa health nila, ganyan. And for me also, yun din, before, grabe, Ishi, I don't eat vegetables. Ayoko talaga ng veggies before. Pero nalaman ko kasi na yung antioxidant level ko was so low para akong yung antioxidant level ko, kasi I was with the network marketing before and there was this device that measures the antioxidant level. Yung mga may sakit na long-term disease, ganun kababa yung antioxidant level nila. Tapos ganun din kababa yung antioxidant level ko. So natakot ako, sabi ko, oh my God, it's because of not eating vegetables. So that was one of the first habits that I incorporated. Pero hindi ko siya na-realize na habit na pala yun. Parang tinry ko lang talaga i-integrate. Kasi alam ko na yung kailangan. I know the why. I want to be healthier. So ganun. Tapos it was only last year na yung mga 5-minute, 10-minute tweaks in your day, di ba? 24 hours. Tapos, magdadagdag ka lang ng, for example, 10-minute meditation. 10 minutes out of 24 hours, gano'n ka, laki ba yun na chunk ng time, di ba? So, I realized, doon ko rin na-realize, yung power of compounding habits na, o na-set up mo na yung habit mo for eating vegetables every day. So, mga 3 months mo nang ginagawa, ano pang next ko na pwedeng idagdag? Oh, kunwari, 10-minute meditation. Okay, 3 months ulit. Tapos, susunod na dinagdag ko, yung gratitude practice at night. 5 minutes. Tapos, ang sarap ng feeling kasi nagsastack sila. Nagsastack sila together. Tapos, yung alam mo yung feeling of winning, kasi nagawa mo to. Tapos i-recognize mo, oh, nagawa ko to, kahit small thing. Yung pag-aayos ng bed in the morning, nagawa mo to. Parang, ang sarap ng feeling na nagagawa mo siya consistently, yung mga ganong small wins. Tapos, more confidence din. So, yun.
Gusto ko yun, yung sa pag-aayos ng kama. Kasi dati, I don't do that.
Okay.
Parang sige, si ate na bahala.
Correct.
And then parang nabasa ko na parang you have to do something first thing in the morning na win for you. And that's the easiest win. Inayos mo yung kama mo. And some people will think na, ano ba yun? Ano ba yung habit na yun? Parang ang dali lang naman. But when you do it and you celebrate the win, yun na yun eh. Magko-compound na siya. Iba na yung mood mo. So always remember na you have to have a win first thing in the morning. So maybe it's sitting on your bed and then breathing five deep breaths lang instead of getting your phone. That's a win. So it's really supporting yourself then and celebrating these very small wins.
Oo. Actually, kami ni Ishie, ang isa pa namin pinagkapareho, medyo senyorita kami.
So, sister
no? Medyo senyorita kami, parang ganyan. Ang hirap i-define. Diba? Parang ang daming parang hindi namin ginagawa. Ayaw namin gawin yung mga dapat gawin sa bahay. Ako yun. struggle ko yun when I got married. Ano ko kailangan gawin for the family? Hindi ako sanay. I'm sure ganun ka din kasi alam ko
Yeah.
yung background mo di ba?
Yeah.
Ayan.
Same.
Okay,
As
so
in.
yan. Isang ano namin, isang fun fact about me and Ishie. May pagkasenyorita kami.
Actually, alam mo, nung pandemic, nung nagsama kami nung husband ko, as in struggle sa amin yun. As in talaga. Kasi kaming dalawa lang pandemic. Yung parents ko nasa Cavite, kami nasa Laguna. Kami nagdalawa. So yung linis, yung laba,
Oo.
luto, ay naku, hirap na hirap talaga kaming dalawa. Hirap na hirap rin ako. Ano yung ginagawa? Pero yun, that was a learning experience talaga for us.
Oo. Mahirap. Lalo na issue when you get kids, when you have kids, kahit may extra help,
Oo.
mas lalong kailangan step up
Yeah.
yung domestic game. Oh, si Mark is watching us also from Kuwait. Yay!
Hi Mark.
May extra hand lang. Ayan. So, aside from PCOS, Ishie, alam mo yung nagulat din ako is that you were very open in sharing about your journey na na-diagnose ka with depression. So, can you also walk, kasi I know that it's something that is not very popular. That topic is not very popular because a lot of people are syempre medyo, I'm not sure if takot is the right term,
Yeah.
pero they don't really talk about mental health, about their depression. So, I'd like to get to take this moment to talk to you about it. Paano mo naisip na kailangan mo nang magpatingin? Dahil, yun, bakit ka nagpatingin?
Okay, so during this time, siguro mga ano yan, 2016 yan. Actually, before pa, I have a really hard time with anger management. As in, so it was, alam mo yung, it's a mix eh. There's victim mentality there, there's anger. Tapos talagang sasabog ako and wala akong pakialam kung masasaktan kita. Kung ano man masabi ko sa'yo, wala akong pakialam. So that was me for a very long time. Siguro nag-start yun ng like mga third year college nung sa UP Manila ako. Kasi ano na ako nun eh. Pasaway na ako nun. Tapos as in pasaway talaga. As in hindi ako pumapasok. Ganyan. Na-kick out pa ako sa UP.
Talaga? Alam mo, yung nabasa ko pala sa'yo is that you were valedictorian ba or salutator? Parang
Yeah,
honors
valedictorian.
Valedictorian. O tapos, what happened?
Tapos, nung na-kick out na ako sa UP, so parang doon na yun, dumagdag na yun. Tapos sabi ng parents ko, okay, balik ka na dito sa Cavite, dito ka na sa Lasal. So nung una ayaw ko talaga bumalik. Kasi nga, nag-enjoy ako sa Manila. Tapos yung mga ex ko kasi babaero, so kailangan ko sila bantayan. Kaya hindi ako pumapasok. Kasi parang may insecurity. Yeah, kailangan mo bantayan. Pag nag-inom, kailangan mo bantayan. Magpupuyat ka kasi nag-iinom. Yung mga ganun. So parang napabarkada rin ako outside. So ganun talaga siya. And then parang ayun na yung consequences ng actions. Nagsisettle na yung consequences. So parang, shit, anong ginawa ko sa buhay ko? Hindi naman ako ganito. And then maririnig mo pa from other people na parang may judgment na, ano ba nangyari kay Elisha? Elisha kasi yung talagang name ko. So yun yung tawag sa akin high school. So ano nangyari kay Elisha? Di ba ano naman yan? Ganyan, ganun. So may judgment na from other people. So yung judgment mo sa sarili and then you hear judgment from other people. So it's compounding and it's hard to you don't want to make excuses, pero parang since you're also feeling down, nagkaka-victim mentality rin talaga. Yes, hardcore. Hardcore. So yun yung ano talaga. And then, kaya ako nag-decide kasi, yeah, that one. It's really important. Communicate and connect to your family. Yes, that's right. So, I realized na I was hurting people around me. So yung mga pinsan ko, nagla-lash out ako sa kanila, mga kapatid ko, my parents. Kasi yung mga kapatid ko, kasi kami, Alin, batch 1 and batch 2. So
Pero
ako,
tayo,
talaga?
Di ba din kayo?
4.
Oo, 4. Kami din, batch 1, batch 2.
malaki yung agwat ng second and third. Yeah, gano'n kami. So, nung lumipat
Sa
ako ulit sa
amin,
Dasma, yeah.
ako, saka yung second ko, 3 years gap. Tapos 3 years gap. Tapos 3 years, 3 years. So ako, saka yung bunso namin, 10 years gap.
Kaya malayo.
Kaya malayo.
Yeah.
Batch 1 ko din kami. So anyway, go ahead with your story.
Yeah. So sa amin, ako naman, batch 1 kami, ako, tapos yung sumunod, 4 years. And then yung second and yung third, 10 years. So,
Ah,
yeah. So, baby sila noon. Nung binabalik ako ng Dasma, baby pa sila. Tapos, nag-aaral-aral na rin, parang grade school. Tapos pinagtuturo ako ng mother ko sa kanila. Tapos as in, grabe Alin, talaga kawawang-kawawa yung mga kapatid ko talaga. As in.
oo.
Kasi napagbubuntunan ko sa kanila yung parang frustrations mo. Na parang, bakit ba ang hirap i-gets? So kasi nga may pinagdadaanan ako. So,
Oo.
nagsispill siya sa iba. So, sabi ko, I don't want this na nagaganon ko yung family ko. So, tapos yung pinsan ko, she's a med rep. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, I'm gonna recommend a doctor. Maybe you should go have yourself checked. So yun, nung first, I think that was 2017, bago lang din kami ni Kiel. Siguro 1 or 2 years na kami. But more on, first year namin, 2 second. So, nagpa-diagnose na. Tapos, nagpa-check ako and then I was diagnosed with dysthymia ba yun? Parang it's persistent depressive disorder. It's PDD. So, yung PDD, it's different from the other, yung mga depression na talagang extreme. Sa PDD, parang, it's a prolonged type ng depression. So, more than 2 years kang depressed. Tapos, there are spikes na parang may episodes, but hindi palagi. Pero, buong years nun, buong years, like, ang tagal talaga, Alin. There were times na talagang sobrang hirap. I'm gonna sleep. And then, sabi ko, ayoko na magising bukas. That's how it,
Oo.
yeah, yun talaga yun. And then, parang, so, nung diagnosis na yun, so, uminom ako ng gamot. And then, yun na, parang sabi ko, okay, I'm not gonna let this ruin my family. So doon na siya nag-start na
Oo.
mag-healing. So, from 2016 to 2021, nagkakaroon lang ng konting mga spikes because of course, minsan, like for me, I feel na I have to, what do you call this? I have to express my creativity. Minsan kasi sa work namin, sa trucking and dealership, hindi ko napapalabas yung creativity. So parang may frustration sa akin with that. And then, so, minsan, may lumalabas na emotions na ganun. So, it's like may triggers.
Oo.
So, right now, tapos na-diagnose ako with PCOS. And with PCOS kasi, because of the hormonal imbalance, may effect siya sa brain. So, kaya minsan may depression, minsan may anxiety. So, it's also may side rin with hormonal.
Yeah. So, yung ano pala, yung anger or yung pagsasnap to the people around you or paglalash to them was a symptom already of depression. Ganun pala yun.
Yeah, that's how I was, parang dun ko siya, ayoko kasi yung maging vulnerable sa kanila, like yung
Okay.
nag-iiyak, yung before, like I don't, actually, I think, naisip ko to, kasi di ba high school, alam mo yung kapag may sa klase, parang may project kayo, tapos ayaw ko pagawa sa mga classmates ko kasi hindi nila magagawa ng tama. So parang nadala ko siya. So for
Okay.
me, I don't wanna ask for help from others.
Okay.
Pero I need help. I know I need help kasi I'm overwhelmed. Pero hindi ko alam paano siya ipapasa. And so, nagkakaroon ng ganong struggle. Andun yung friction dun sa two polar like feelings. Tapos doon ako sumasabog. Na parang,
Okay.
you have to know na you have to help me. Kaya lang ayoko naman ibigay. So parang, nagkakaroon ng, doon nagiging magulo. So, nag-lash out ako. As in talaga.
Oo. So, what I understand is that you know that parang may frustration, parang siguro ang bigat ng feeling kasi
Yeah.
ginajudge mo yung sarili mo about maybe failures dun sa studies. Tapos, nadagdagan ng parang feedback from other people, negative feedback from other people. So, ang bigat na nun. Tapos, may pinapagawa sa'yo sa family. Tapos, hindi mo rin siya magawa correctly. Tapos, you refuse parang refuse help from other people because you want to be independent, you want to settle, or parang isolve mo yun ng sarili mo. Kaya
Yeah.
nag-compound yung emotion. And then, so, nung na-diagnose ka with that, how did you feel? Tapos, what did you do? How was that? Paano ba yun? How did you manage? How did you
Yeah.
handle it?
Yeah. So, yung for me, yung mga naging diagnosis like with depression and PCOS, parang it was a wake-up call. And, right now, I'm in the play, even though may mga triggers and then minsan bigla na lang akong maano. But now, it's more, yung mas nahahandle na siya. It's not as bad as before. Kasi before, like, as in weeks yun. O kaya minsan, aalis ako, magdadrive ako ng malayo hanggang Batangas. Tapos, yun lang. Tapos babalik ako ng bahay. Ganun siya. Ganun siya nangyayari. And then, days na nasa kwarto ka lang. So now, it's different. Now, parang mas mabilis ng ano. So, nung diagnosis, I just realized na, okay, I know that I have this. So what can I do about it? So naging ganun na yung flip nung mindset na I'm not gonna ask why I have this. I'm not gonna ask ano kayang ginawa ko. I'm not gonna feel guilty about yung my past. But
Yeah.
just really go for the, okay, what can I do about this? Anong pwede kong matulong sa sarili ko,
Yeah.
others? Yeah, so that was it. That was really something that helped me na ma-navigate yung struggles ko na ganun. Yeah. That's why I'm also sharing it to others. Yun yung parang naging, okay, anong pwede kong gawin about depression? Kasi, a lot of families are actually having a hard time with a person who is depressed. Kasi minsan di mo alam how you're gonna
Oo.
handle. Lalo na pag high functioning naman yung tao.
Oo.
Yeah, and then
Oo.
may sudden outbursts, ganyan. So you really have to understand where they coming from. Yun. So that was also what we talked about ng husband ko yesterday, him supporting me sa depression. So sabi namin is iba talaga yung sympathy and empathy. So with depression, with a depressed person, kailangan talaga empathy yung ipapakita mo, not sympathy. So when the person is not ready to receive what is, wow, okay, I will try that. Thank you, Sitchai. I'm gonna try that herbal tea. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So, very big role yung pinlay ni husband sa siguro ng family
yeah.
in helping you navigate that period of your life. So, ang galing. Pero, when you, so let's frame it this way. How do you know when you have to get yourself checked
Um,
for depression?
yeah, for me, suicidal thoughts. When you have that, tapos you're refusing to get up in the morning, yung mga stuff na usually it makes you happy, hindi na, or
Mm-mm.
parang you really have no, you really don't have the energy to do stuff. Yun, dun siya nag-manifest sa akin personally. Dun siya nag-manifest. Ayokong tumayo. And then minsan, nakaligo na ako, papasok na ako sa school.
Oh.
Tapos, ayoko na pumasok. Papalit akong pambahay. Yeah, it's like that. It's like may switch. Yeah, it's may switch talaga na hindi mo alam kailan mag-turn on, kailan mag-turn off. It was like that for me. So, yun. Minsan walang outside trigger. It's just all in my head.
Oo.
So, you really have to get yourself checked. Lalo na kapag yung may mga ganun ng feelings. Kasi dito kasi sa Philippines, may stigma around it.
Yeah.
But then, it's really very helpful for people to ask talaga for help, for support, na you're not weak if you do that. I think kasi Filipinos, I think we're weak kapag nag-ask tayo ng help. But, if you really think about it and you think about yourself and your family, 'di ba? You really would ask for help, for support. Sino ba may alam, 'di ba? And these are yung mga psych, ganyan. It's really talking to someone as well na alam mong um, ang concern nila for you is really, yung intentions nila for you is really good. So that's your family, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's a friend, your cousin, yun. So for me, it was really my husband, my family, yan, tsaka yung mga cousins ko, yun. That was it. Na pag nafe-feel mo na may sobrang bigat na, I think you should
Oo.
go, yeah, have it checked
Okay.
na.
So, aside from consulting a doctor, it's also very important to talk about your feelings to people who are close to you. So
Yeah,
somehow they will understand what's going on in your head, what you're feeling. Okay.
yeah. And
But
also, And also,
yeah,
Aline, if a person na may depression or someone comes to you and they ask for your help, you
yeah,
or nagbe-breakdown, nakikita mo nagbe-breakdown, it's really not helpful to give advice. Or
yeah,
yung say yung kunwari nakikita mo nagsa-struggle siya and you say, at least ganito yung life mo. At least kasi if the person is not ready to receive that, the
ah,
person is gonna take it in the wrong way. So, ang magagawa mo lang talaga is to put yourself in their shoes and really see ano ba yung experience mo na makaka-connect dun sa person. Kasi lahat naman tayo may struggles. So, you're gonna
oo.
have to look into yourself as well and see yung struggle mo, how it could connect to the other person's struggle. So that the other person can see na you are willing to support and not silver line yung ano niya, yung struggle niya. So that's also helpful.
Actually, meron din akong na-encounter na similar concept, pero for husband and wife. When you talk daw about things, you put it into a perspective na, or parang isettle nyo, what do you want to do with this? Do we want someone to support or just listen to us? Or do we want to solve? Kasi magkaiba, di ba? Pagka gusto mo lang mag-rant, makinig ka lang.
Yes.
Parang gusto ko lang ilabas. Pero pag gusto i-solve, ready ako to receive your solution. So, kailangan medyo clear yung purpose for telling the story or sharing. So, now that, what I get from this, from our conversation right now, is that if someone is suffering something similar, it's better to reserve your solutions
Yeah.
and be more, parang focus more on the emotions of the person and understand the person better. Not, walang silver lining, walang solution. It's just
Wala
really
yung
listening.
ano, yung at least, yeah.
Oo.
Yung,
Tanggal yan ng at least.
yeah.
Okay. Sige, so,
Like,
Ishie, I
of
don't
course,
want,
yeah, of course, yung ganun kasi, you feel na your intentions kasi are good naman. So you see a
oh,
person struggling and you want na this person gets out of it immediately. Kasi nga,
yeah.
nakikita mo they're suffering. But sometimes it really has to be a person's decision. Kasi the person has to feel The person has
Mhm.
to learn the lesson during that time. So what you
Oo.
can do is really support and be there for them and not try to, alam mo yung tatanggalin mo na siya agad doon. Like,
Oo, yung parang teach
it's
them
not
to
your right. Yeah.
let go of the emotion. Parang,
Yeah.
okay, you don't have the authority to tell them how to feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also
Okay.
you don't have the judgment. You really can't judge a person having a good or bad experience kasi experience nila yun eh.
Oo.
So it's just listening talaga.
Medyo gusto ko maging spiritual kasi hindi ko alam kung bakit ko gusto mag-spiritual. Pero sabi, may nabasa kasi ako na the person that you are talking to is just 20% of who they really are. There's 80% underneath. And you as a person, the people that they see, is also just 20%. There's also 80% underneath. And sometimes you just have to connect to the 80-80. Hindi doon sa nakikita mo, hindi sa sinasabi niya, but more on the energy levels. So yeah, no judgment, sabi ni Coach Bads. Hello, Coach Bads. Thank you for being here and watching.
Hello!
Ishi, sobrang
Congrats ulit pala, Coach Buds. Congrats ulit, Coach Buds.
Congrats, Coach Bads. I really appreciate your openness and your generosity in sharing your story because it's a taboo topic at right now. Hindi pa siya sobrang parang mainstream na napag-uusapan, pero I feel that it's very important because sometimes people dismiss parang hindi nila, 'di ba, parang hindi nila naiintindihan that it's a mental issue, it's a valid issue, and it's something that we really need to understand better before we can parang ano ba yun, so that we can help people around us who are also undergoing the same kind of how is it a condition? Would you say that it's a condition?
It's a disorder, yeah.
Okay.
So
So
ano, also with that, ano talaga eh, yung you don't judge a person's struggles kasi we have different struggles, right? So kunwari,
yeah.
you see a person struggling with their love life or their career, and then you don't have any problems with your career. So just because you're not having problems with your career, feeling mo ang babaw na nung struggle nung isang tao. So it's not like that. We have different ways to process. We have different, childhood trauma, pain. So hindi mo talaga alam paano niya ipoprocess. And it's a personal choice how to process that. And feelings are valid. Before I used to feel guilty about lashing out, ganyan. And then I realized na these feelings are valid. Kaya siya lumalabas kasi tinatry ko siya i-suppress. Kasi nahihiya ako about these feelings. And then, right now, I feel na they're valid and I have to share also. And it's okay to be vulnerable, to accept na, it's a strength rin kasi to actually say na, this is my experience and
Yeah.
ito yung naging struggles ko. And yun nga, and not feel guilty about all the things that happened in the past and just move forward. How can you move forward knowing that ito yung triggers mo, ito yung naging problems mo. So it's really also about self-awareness, knowing yourself more in the process. Yan.
Mm-mm. Sabi ni Coach Bads, no judgment. Sabi ni si Chai, just listen. Thank you for mentioning that all feelings are valid. Because hindi ko alam kung bakit, pero somehow there's this conditioning sa akin. Hindi ko alam kung for other people also, but for me, there's this conditioning that that you should only entertain feelings na positive. Joy, hope, gratitude, harmony. Pero when it comes to anger, when it comes to sadness, parang
Their
there's
shame.
this notion na dismiss that emotion, dismiss that thought because nasa isip mo lang yan, tanggalin mo sa isip mo, mind over matter, ganyan. So thank you for reminding us that all feelings are valid. Even if, yan, if it's being lonely, even if it's feeling vulnerable, even if it's feeling anger. So thank you for affirming that all feelings are valid and we can feel it, we can sit with the feeling, but maybe the lesson is not to dwell too much on it for a long period of time and seek help. If you're struggling in handling your feelings, then maybe it's time for you to open up to someone close to you, someone who cares for you. And if if it doesn't help you yet, then seek professional help for mental health. Thank you so much, Ishi. Sobrang generous mo. Talaga. Saka genuine and authentic and very vulnerable for you to be telling us this story because yun nga, hindi talaga lahat ng tao kayang magsabi. You're so brave, you're so courageous in sharing your story. So I really appreciate that. And I hope the people who are listening or who will get to listen to this will find empowerment in the struggles that they are faced with. If it was depression, if it's PCOS, if it's a medical condition, if it's whatever struggle it is, whatever obstacle it is, you have shown us that you can rise above the struggle. Find empowerment by helping other people to navigate similar situation that you've gone through. So, ang galing. Yeah, that's how I see you. That's how I see you.
Oh,
That you've
thank you,
got
Ali.
empowerment from the experiences that you had in the past, and now you're empowering others to also surpass, to also transcend to also overcome. So, Ishi, ang ganda ng usapan. Actually casual, pero parang ang lalim. Di ba? Ang lalim ng
Yeah.
narating natin. Pero, I don't want to keep you long kasi, ayan na, mag-go 1 hour na pala tayo. But can you give us maybe just 3 tips on how to, paano ba? How to turn your struggles into your story. Parang story. How to turn yung mga struggles, how to, um, ano,
Find
shift
yung
them. How to shift your challenges into something that can empower and help you.
So, yung first siguro talaga is when it's really tough for you, when a situation is tough for you, you're having these emotions. Don't judge them right away na they're bad emotions. No judgment talaga, even sa others, lalo na sa sarili. So when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling lonely, don't judge the feelings. Sit with it, maybe journal with it, and then when the time is right, when you feel ready, you can read through that. And then pag ready ka na, you will see, okay, ito yung nangyari sa akin, ito yung story, ito yung feeling. Okay, how am I gonna turn it into something positive? Kasi for me, Aline, I turned my PCOS diagnosis into something na I wrote about this, na I'm grateful for it, na I see na yung being diagnosed at 30 ng PCOS, I list down everything.
I saw your post.
Yeah, this diagnosis really came at a perfect time for me in my experience. I choose to see it that way. So it's really yung self-awareness and really going through the whole process of sitting with a feeling, what are the lessons, and then what can you do about it. So it's not just sitting on the why, you also have to go to the what. What can I do about these feelings? So that's the first one. And then second, I think, when people are really having a hard time sharing their stories, I think it's because of shame, of embarrassment. Not because this is your story, but because you're thinking about how other people might perceive your story, right? Because, it's really a reality that some people are really judgmental, right?
Yeah.
But me right now, I don't focus on that anymore. I focus my energy on the people that will resonate with my story, who will be inspired. Sino ba yung mga taong to, yung mga may PCOS, may depression. And, I choose to focus my energy on them and not on the people na, ano ba to? Bakit ba nag-share to ng ganyan? Bakit ganyan? Sobrang, di ba dapat personal na lang yan? Dapat di na yan sinishare. I don't focus on those people because I
Yeah.
know that my story is helping other people. So yun doon ako nagpo-focus ng energy. That's why it's easy for me to actually share and to share all my struggles, paano ko na-overcome, even the struggles that I'm having right now na hindi ko pa na-overcome, I share it because I feel na someone is listening. And kahit isa lang yung tao, I'm focusing on you, not the noise outside.
Ang galing. Okay.
Yeah.
Talagang naano ko, na-absorb ko siya ngayon.
Tapos siguro third one, yun, have yung support system, really. Don't be ashamed to ask for help from people who really love you, yung concerned sa'yo. And if you feel na, of course, kasi sometimes even our parents, they have good intentions, but sometimes yung mga nasasabi nila, even with good intentions, it's not helping you. And siguro being vulnerable to tell them na, okay, ito yung nangyayari sa atin, but this is just what I need. And having those hard conversations with the people you love, it's really important kasi, sometimes you really have to disturb the peace to have peace. Kailangan
Oo.
talaga when something is not working, it's because something is shoved under the rug. Something is not being put into the light na may kailangan
Yeah.
kayong pag-usapan. So it's during those times, those turbulent times, that it's the perfect avenue, perfect conversation to have with the people you love, to have those hard conversations and not be ashamed to share what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Yun. So, yeah.
Wow! Ang dami-dami ko natutunan, Ishie. As in, para mo kong inaano, konsensya, parang ganyan. Alin, ito yung mga kailangan mong gawin, ito yung mga, oh, ang
Ano
dami
ka
ko
ba, Aline? Ganun ka rin naman sa amin. Pag nagko-call tayo.
pero, I mean, ito kasi, ngayon, parang one-on-one, tapos yung conversation is really personal and really your story and your thought process and how you are parang being brave in parang in facing the challenges that you were given. Ganyan. So, ang dami. Pero Ishi, before we end, alam mo, sobrang mo akong fan sa pagkanta mo. So, kailangan. So, for the other people who don't know yet, si Ishi ang galing-galing nitong kumanta.
Grabe.
So, nilagay ko naman yan sa 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 questionnaire ko for you. So, I hope you can grant us kahit a small, parang sample of your singing voice. Disney song yung nakita ko yung mga, kasi si Ishii may TikTok din po ito. Tapos sa TikTok, sobrang ganda ng TikTok niya, entertaining, nakakatawa, nakaka-amuse, na ang galing talaga kumanta. Nilang mag-asawa, pareho silang musically inclined. So, yan.
Alam mo, natatawa ko dyan. Kasi, Aline, like for example, kasi right now, di ba, I want to focus on coaching, on struggles, ganyan. Tapos yung TikTok ko, pag pinuntahan mo, para akong nagda-dub smash na, di ba, yung mga tulfo na, sabi ko, ano ba to? Like, tatanggapin ba ng mga tao to?
Okay lang yan. So, doon naman, ang market mo, yung mga gustong ma-entertain ng beautiful voice mo, saka sense of humor mo. So, don't focus on the noise.
Yeah, I love that. Tsaka narinig ko kay Gary Vaynerchuk na parang, kung kunwari, just show your authentic self, lahat about it. So, anything you wanna share it. Parang wag ka na masyado sa
ina-embody mo yung pagiging authentic. Talagang idol kita dun sa pagiging authentic. So, ayan, si Mark na-excite na rin siya kasi singer ka daw pala. Oo, Mark, singer siya. Ang galing-galing. Nag-event ka, di ba? Nagsising ka sa events.
Sa family events.
Family events lang ba yun? Kasi nakita ko para talagang may band sa likod, tapos nag-aano ka.
Kasi, Aline, so nung time na depressed ako, I really, had a hard time sharing the talent. Yeah. Tsaka may experience ako before, parang, it's a presentation sa PR, and then, ginamit yung singing voice ko dun sa kanta. And then, siya, kasi tamad nga ako nung nag-aaral talaga. Like, it's not my priority. I think for me, kung ano yung gusto kong aralin, doon ako mag-excel. Pero yung pa-aaralin mo sa akin, I really don't like it. So, hindi ko na pinalitan. Parang, yung nag-record ako noon, as in mahangin and stuff. Tapos parang nung nasa stage kami, sabi nung judge, sabi niya, baka next time pwede naman mas yung magaling naman yung pakantahin nyo. Kaya, nung time na yun, parang sabi ko, okay, hindi na muna ako kakanta. so that was an experience as well.
Pero talaga yung power ng words na it can impact someone based on the statements that you make.
Yeah,
so,
totoo.
Very careful. Dapat very careful din tayo with the use of words. And parang use it to uplift people rather than to put them down. But sometimes kasi kailangan talaga ng difficult conversations wherein tulad nung sinabi ni Rachel sa excellence in leadership naman, leaders should also know when to call out or parang yung mga negative things about the person. Pero at least nakaano ka na get over mo na yung comment na yon. And I see that you're singing and sharing your talent. So wag na nating patagalin. Sample na nga, Ishie.
Kasi yung boses ko parang sa sobrang daldal. Sige, tatry natin. Okay. So, ang inisip ko is yung, sabi mo Disney. So, may favorite song kasi ako sa Disney talaga. Yung Colors of the Wind. Yun talaga yung favorite ko. Okay, so, sige. You think the only people who are people are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of the stranger. You learn the things you never knew, you never knew. Yan na.
Bitin! Iniisip ko yung
Punta na
susunod
lang
na.
sila sa TikTok joke.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you! Pinagbigyan mo ako. Yay! Oh, okay. So,
Welcome.
tingnan mo. More daw. More.
Sa
Kung gusto ka
TikTok, sa
nilang
TikTok.
follow, okay, tell us how to get in touch with you, how to get more of you, o parang get to know you better, how?
So for women who are struggling with PCOS, I created the community, the Polysisters Club. So ang iniisip ko lang, like, pero if there are women out there who want to like focus also on health, kasi we're not only talking about PCOS, it's also about habits. You're free to join the group. And then I'm Who Is She? Who is she? Hi, hi Coach Mark. It's Who Is She? So, kaya siya who is she kasi parang, who is she? Parang gano'n.
Oo.
Yeah. So, fun. Ginamit ko na yung fun.
Oo.
Yeah. So, yun. Who is she? Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And then, yung blog ko, it's www.whoisshe.com. Yeah.
Sabihin ko na rin. Pang medyo serious, which is more on, yan, mga serious side ni Ishie, sa LinkedIn, Ishie Perez, sa
Yeah.
Facebook,
Who
yan.
is she rin? Yeah.
Sa Facebook, yan, mga serious. Sa Instagram, medyo serious. Pero kung gusto nyo ng mga thing, ano ni Ishie, sa TikTok, andun ang kanyang fun, super fun side.
Go.
Uy, Ishie, super thank you. I really had fun. And naisip ko lang, kaya ko inaano yung Disney kasi ngayon na may kids ako, lagi namin pinapanood yung mga cartoons and ang dami kasing values na
Yeah.
sa mga Disney movies na kung talagang iso-solidify lang natin as adults kasi medyo nakakalimutan natin pag adult eh. So
Mm-mm.
now, nare-remind ako. Kaya ni-request ko Disney kasi parang perfect din yung voice mo. So that's it for this afternoon, everybody. Thank you for catching us. Thank you for listening to us. I hope you're able to learn a thing or two that can help you in your personal journey. And super thank you, Ishie. That's it for us today, and see you again next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.